You're listening to the Arrow Fans UK podcast. During this podcast, we're going to be talking about Season 2. We have a general discussion, along with specific episode awards for certain elements in the season. You can get in touch with us via Facebook, Twitter, or email to give your thoughts. But for now, sit back and enjoy the podcast.
Hey everyone, welcome back. You are listening to the Arrow Fans UK podcast. I'm your host, Bradley, joined as usual by co-host Corey. Hey Corey, how you doing?
Yeah, not too bad, and you?
I'm good, thanks. So we are at that very miserable time. We've gone past the season finale, and we have to wait 5 months until the next new episode of Arrow. There's nothing else to say about it, it's depressing.
No, just the sooner the DVD is out and you can religiously rewatch it, the better.
And the soundtrack.
Yep, that's it.
But yes, we do have to wait a long time for Arrow, although that finale kind of satisfied people, I think, for a little while, one would hope.
Yeah, definitely.
But obviously, we are eagerly anticipating Season 3, but today we're going to talk more in detail about Season 2 on the whole. We're going to have some general discussion about it. We've got some awards, some award categories, like we did at the mid-season podcast. So yeah, let's just get straight into it. So Corey, what do you think of Season 2? I mean, it was better than Season 1, right?
Yeah, I think sort of, as a whole, it definitely tops Season 1. I think the only place perhaps where Season 1 beats it is with Sacrifice. Comparing that to Unthinkable, I think Sacrifice tops it, but on the whole, I think it's been a step up in quality. I think it's been pretty intense throughout. We've had some decent twists that I don't think we saw coming. Good storylines, and definitely much more good than bad.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. I mean, last year, it wasn't bad as such, but it just wasn't as good as it could have been, or as good as it has been this year. And I think most shows do that. They don't I think it's rare for a show to go into its first season and be spectacular.
I think perhaps with Season 1, it kind of took a little while to get going. I mean, I think it was around the time of the Odyssey, perhaps, that things started to really take off that season, but I kind of found the first half of that a tad slow in places. But yeah, I do agree.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing. When you start a show, it's difficult because you have to set everything up. You can't just go straight into it. And I mean, like Season 2 has done, where Season 2 has been kind of full on, really. Those first 13 episodes was setting things up. You had to bring people into the equation. You had to have sort of all these things going on that just sort of goes, okay, now we can actually have a show.
Yeah.
Season 2 has been far, far better than Season 1 was. On the whole, I've enjoyed the whole thing. There's been a lot of good story, there's been a lot of good acting, a lot of good action. It's been generally enjoyable to watch.
Yeah, I think with the exception of one episode, which I'm sure we'll have a unanimous agreement over for one of the awards, I don't think I've ever sort of come away from an episode kind of feeling underwhelmed or disappointed, really.
Yeah, I mean, there's a couple, which we will come to later on, but on the whole, the thing is, you go into an episode week after week on Arrow, and as they've had better and better episodes, you look at something like Three Ghosts, you look at that episode, you go into Blast Radius after the Christmas break, and you expect it to be even better, and it's not. And so that kind of, Blast Radius wasn't one of the better episodes.
No.
But you look at something like that actually you're comparing them to other episodes, more recent episodes, that have been really spectacular, and they don't hit that, but compared to most other episodes, they're really good.
Yeah.
As I say, there have been so many episodes in Season 2 that have been really, really good.
Yeah, there's a number of them really. I'll go back and just watch certain scenes here and there, the whole thing. A lot of sort of memorable stuff. If I kind of went back through the season, each episode at a time, I could probably pick out one or two scenes from most episodes which are kind of stuck with me. And yeah.
Yeah, and I think that's what you want from a TV show. You want it to be not something you go in, watch, and then 5 minutes after you just kind of forget that you watched it.
Yeah.
Not from trying to forget you watched it, but just because it wasn't that interesting, wasn't that good. You know, that is what you want. You want to be thinking about it for days after.
Yeah.
Because the point of television is to entertain, and if you're not entertained by it, then it kind of defeats the object.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think an A I'd give season 2.
Yeah, I think I'd agree with that.
Okay. I mean, unless you have any other thoughts to add?
No, I think it's just going to be interesting to see whether they can top it again with season 3. It's going to be...
Yeah, I mean, you'd hope so, because, 46 episodes worth, you learn different things about what works, what doesn't work, what the fans actually want to see.
Yeah, I mean, at the very least, you'd hope they'll match it.
Yeah, you'd hope so. I
think you'd expect them to, really, now.
I think you'd be worried if any show, in fact, goes from having a really good season to actually having a season that's worse.
Yeah, there'd kind of be alarm bells ringing a little bit there.
Yeah. You've done all these things great, and you've done a few things wrong, and we've sort of forgiven you for that, but now you've picked out the things that you've done wrong and just used them lots.
Yeah.
Yeah. No thanks. But yeah, I mean, as long as they keep up this level of quality, then the show should be going for a few more years at least.
Yeah, and that's what we want after all. You kind of just want to see the story the whole way through.
Yes, you do. Okay, so as I mentioned earlier, we're going to get into some of the awards. We've got what have we got? 9 categories for the show for season 2. We're going to start off with the best present day scene. So Corey, what do you think that should get? What scene do you reckon should win that?
Yeah, it's kind of one I've kind of been thinking about a little bit, because thinking about one of our other awards, it kind of makes me want to save what was going to be my first choice for that. I think one of the scenes that I sort of would say I found most impressive was in The Man Under the Hood, where Slade's waiting for them in the Arrow Cave, and they all try to have a go at him, but he basically kicks the crap out of all of them.
The Whitley team Arrow down, as someone called it.
That's one I've kind of watched a few times back. Yeah, I'd probably go for that one. That's sort of the one kind of sticking in my head at the minute, to be honest. How about you?
The one sticking in my head is the death of Moira.
Yeah, that's a good one. I'm a little worried I forgot about that, to be honest.
Yes, haven't I? It's only one of the biggest scenes of the entire show this season.
Yeah, just the one that... I should just leave this podcast at once, because I've just disgraced everything we've been doing for the last few months.
Yeah, just a little bit. But no, I mean, I think that was really kind of... It was hard-hitting, it was shocking. It's literally the best thing about that episode. And to be fair, it could have been toned down quite a bit, and it still would have been the best thing. It wasn't one of the greatest episodes, but it stood out, and it wasn't like it was kind of a ridiculous death. It was kind of like a hero's death, wasn't it?
Yeah, it wasn't. I guess it wasn't one that's kind of a needless death, because I think you sometimes get that way. You just have characters die and it's kind of a little bit stupid.
Yeah, and particularly shows do that in finales. So they go, oh look, it's a finale, we killed someone.
Yeah, no, that's not what you need. I think they've always done that in Arrow. They've kind of fought the deaths through, and I think with Moira they just got that spot on. Especially, I think we were saying how it kind of mimicked the Shadow death as well, the way they set it out.
Yeah, that worked really well. Yeah, the whole scene just worked really well. You could just kind of feel where it was going. I mean, I was sitting there watching it, and I saw there was quite a few minutes left in the episode, and I thought, when getting in the car, and I thought, this is a bit kind of dull for an Arrow moment. I mean, it seems like the episode's going to end, but there's still like 7 minutes left. So it was really shocking.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't see it coming. And kind of, it's funny, when you know it's coming and you watch it back, you sort of see the warning signs a little more, but, it was a big slap in the face at the end of that episode, really.
Yeah, it was. Okay, so you've gone for Team Arrow getting destroyed, Slade and Ronan, and I've gone for Moira's.
And I think you win that round pretty much.
Fair enough. Okay, so we'll move on. I named this one Best Island Scene, but I'm going to sort of tweak that a little bit. Best Flashback Scene, because we did have a few flashbacks that weren't on the island, obviously. So if you wanted to choose one of them, you can do. I went for The Promise Being Made, purely because there wasn't that much else, and I didn't particularly want to go for Shadow's death, because when you look at it, the choice, it wasn't really that kind of a great scene.
No, I think it could have perhaps been built up a little more, but I don't know, especially because Oliver wasn't exactly, completely restrained or whatever. It just wasn't so well put together, that scene. I mean, it was still kind of shocking, but, Yeah,
it was shocking, but, it just felt rushed.
Yeah, it sort of... I think they were cramming a lot into that episode, because you had Slade with the... he was first injected with the Mirakuru, you had him coming back and everything, but, it's sort of one... They perhaps should have taken their time on it a little more. Yeah.
So I went for The Promise Being Made because it was... Management delivered it really well, and it's just sort of nice to finally see it, really.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. I think that's what I'd go for, or anytime Anatoly says anything probably could work, but I can't really think of a specific off the top of my head right now. But, I think The Promise Being Made is a good one to go for.
Yeah. That was two of one. I assume that is the one you're going for, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay then, that's good. So 2 out of 2 for me.
Yeah, not bad.
Right. Best villain. I think we might have a very long discussion about this one.
Yeah.
Go on, what did you go for?
I think I'll probably go for Slade on this one, because just his whole thing, the personal element of it, I think that's been a good take. His has been brutal. Deathstroke costume's been good. I think Manny Bennett's been awesome, and I've just got good things to say, really.
Yep, totally agree there. There's not really much doubt about that, to be honest.
No.
I mean, there have been a few good villains, but not many.
No, I mean, when you've got, like, shrapnel and people, they just make Slade look even better, to be honest.
Yeah, it's not great, I mean, his motives aren't great, but Manny Bennett plays it really well, and they've sort of gone with it. So, so Slade wins that.
I think we'd probably be in agreement about this one as well. Best guest star or character?
Yeah, I think we're pretty unanimous on this one, to be honest.
Yes. Nickel as Anatoly Knyazov.
Yeah.
He has just been fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, every scene he's in has been gold, pretty much. And make him a season regular in season 3.
Yeah, they left the island now. I can't see it.
Make him
Depressing.
run some shady underground club in Hong Kong.
Yeah, that'd be kind of worth watching. Yeah, I think we have to go with Anatoly there. It made the island seem much more fun and interesting.
Yeah, I think the sort of first half of the season, island scenes were a bit dark in tone.
I think, they've spent most of it searching for the miracle crew. I mean, you sort of had the nice dynamic of Slade, Shadow, and Oliver.
Yeah.
And then that sort of got ruined with her dying and him going crazy. And then sort of bringing Anatoly into it made it much more interesting.
Yeah.
It's just fun to have around.
Yeah.
So, yes, I think we'll have to go with that one as well. That's 4 out of 4 out of 1.
Yeah, on a roll.
Yeah. Okay, so, best action sequence. I'm pretty sure we're going to come up with a unanimous vote here within about 10 seconds.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, let's be honest. If Arrow doesn't get lots and lots of awards for its throughout the entire season, not just in this particular one, but if it doesn't get any awards, then the system is flawed and a lot of people failed the city.
Absolutely, yes. Totally.
Because the stunts on this show are just kind of, they're better than any other show I watch.
Yeah, same here.
James Manford and the actors do a fantastic job every week. There's always a stunt scene episode, and it's always pretty good.
Yeah, they do, they always deliver.
Yes. I went with Oliver versus Slade in the finale because, well, just for originality of linking the present day and the past one big fight.
Yeah, I haven't seen that done before on any other show, to be honest, and more than that, it was done really well.
It would have looked really stupid if they'd done it and it hadn't looked great. But actually, they made it look brilliant. I mean, we've been sort of thinking all season that we're waiting for Oliver by fighting either the present day or on Ireland, and then rather than giving us one and one and the other, give it both at the same time.
Yeah, and like you say, because of how quickly they were interchanging between each of them, if they hadn't got it right, then it would have been really jerky and just wouldn't have worked. But it's just seamless, really.
Yeah, I mean, what was great about it is that when, particularly like the transition between the present day to the island, where Slade kicks Oliver and we see him go past the wall, because that's where the camera angle is, and on the island, that just skips to where Oliver's falling down the island on the boat.
Yeah.
And then later on, when Slade's strangling Oliver, and then he punches and he falls backwards, and then it goes to the present day where he falls backwards on the roof. Just really well.
Yeah, it just deserves all the awards.
Yeah. The only other one I was sort of contemplating was the one in Deathstroke.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of people, including myself, really enjoyed the one in The Undertaking last year.
Yeah.
When we had Oliver take on a corridor full of people. And that was great. And they still did that again, just in a warehouse, and even better.
Yeah, that was awesome, very impressive, and I think that kind of was a decent consolation for them not really having a Oliver versus Slade fight in that episode.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, as the stunts and the action sequences and just everything that James Banford does on this show is just spectacular. So
give him all the awards.
But yeah, yes. So I think we are going to have to go with Oliver v. Slade.
Yeah, definitely.
But again, that's not to say that all the other stunt scenes weren't good. They just weren't that good.
Yeah, that's pretty much it, to be honest.
They were better than most other shows, so let's give it that. Okay. Best character. This is the main character. Or someone who's billed as a series together. Who do you go for?
I think probably on this one I'd actually go for Quentin, because I've just liked the way he's sort of developed this season compared to where he was last season. Paul Blackthorne's awesome, and just hopefully the Arrow writers aren't going to do the unthinkable. And
you kill him.
Yes, don't you dare.
No, that would just be terrible. I was listening to another podcast the other day, and they were saying that you have Quentin in the hospital bed for episodes, and then if they want to kill him off, that's fine. No. just no. Not having it. We're not losing Paul Blackthorne. It's not happening.
No, he's too good.
But yeah, I mean, I think we're gonna have to go for Quentin. There's been a lot of development. I think, last season he was helping on catching the Arrow, or the Vigilante, as it was known then.
Yeah.
And sort of everything that's happened between seasons 1 and 2 sort of made him see clear that actually, well, he did kill people, and he's not killing the people now. But even before he kind of said that he wasn't killing people, Oliver as the Arrow was actually doing good.
Yeah.
And I think Quentin realising that was a really key thing for the show.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, I don't think you could have had another season of Quentin running around trying to catch the Arrow.
No, because, he's never going to catch him anyway, and it just makes him look incompetent as a police officer, really.
I mean, they did catch him.
Well, true, yeah.
And then, yeah. But yeah, I mean, he's developed really well as a character this year. And Paul Blackthorne's awesome.
Yep, definitely.
And why would you want to see Quentin, say that he hopes that Nyssa gets killed? That's just funny. What was it? I'd die before anything happened to your daughter. Here's hoping.
Yeah.
Right. So yeah, don't kill him off, and he wins best character.
Yep.
I wonder if we're ever going to actually give that award to Oliver.
Yeah.
I doubt it.
No, I don't think we will. Too many flaws there.
Yeah, Yeah, we've discussed this before. Okay. I wonder who we're going to go for on this next award. Worst character.
Yeah, I think that's kind of got to go to Laurel just for that storyline basically, which took up most of the season for her. It just didn't work, I don't think.
Yeah, I've seen people saying that this season was her crucible. Like Oliver's crucible was the island. How exactly anyone can think that being addicted to drugs and alcohol can be a crucible, or even near to like what Oliver had on the end.
Yeah, I don't know. I think that was the thing. It never felt that severe, if that makes sense. It just was like a nuisance going on. I just don't think it was put together very well.
Yeah, it was just kind of, oh, woe is me. Tommy left me. Oliver left me. Sarah left me. And my mother left me. Oh, look, now I've got a bottle of alcohol. Let's drink that. Oh, I've got some prescription drugs stolen from my father. Let's take those.
Yeah, it was just lacking, but, thankfully it came to an end in the end.
Yeah, but it got worse.
Well, true.
The handover of the jacket.
Yeah.
Oh no, that. Seeing Laurel become the Canary would just be horrific.
Yeah, I don't want us to go down that route. Let's make Quentin the Canary first. Maybe he can pull off the stockings, I don't know.
Yeah, that would be quite interesting. I don't think Paul Blackthorne quite had that, but...
Yeah, he might hand in his resignation from the show or something. I don't know.
Yeah, that would be terrible.
Yes, we don't want that.
Yeah, pick Felicity the Canary.
Yeah, that could work.
Yeah, she has the skill to stab stage with a needle.
She'd probably just talk her villains into submission.
Yeah, just, have a little bit of training with Diggle, and then talk her villains, and then smash her on the head with the pole.
Yeah.
That would be quite funny. Yeah, we could have a spin-off with that.
Yeah, I'd watch it.
Don't you get a job? No. Yes. Okay then, so Reed Laurel was the worst character.
Yep. And
we please improve her for the third season, because I don't really want to watch another season of that.
No, I'd just kind of end up fast-forwarding through it, probably.
Yeah, it's not most entertaining. As I said earlier, the point of TV is to entertain people. Entertaining.
It's a boring storyline. If it was done right, then maybe it could have worked, but...
It wouldn't have been great, but it would have been bearable.
Yeah, I think that's what... Yeah, I think I'd agree with that. But it just wasn't very bearable. It's just annoying.
Yeah. It was. I mean, Katie Cassidy didn't even do a great job with it. No. You see some characters on other shows where the character is completely flawed and the writing for it is terrible for a few episodes, but actually getting with it is solid, and it sort of makes it doesn't even out as such, but it kind of helps it a little bit in that, well, the writing isn't great, but it's sort of not that bad to watch because it's being acted well. The actor or actress actually knows it with what's going on.
Yeah.
Katie Cassidy didn't do that.
No, I'd agree with that.
So yeah, okay. So we've got 2 awards left. We're gonna go for worst episode first. I'm sure you can all guess what the other award is gonna be. So we will start with worst episode. I was sort of torn between 2, but I'm sure that you'll be surprised in what I ended up going for. I was thinking about going for State vs. Queen, because, let's be honest, it wasn't the greatest episode ever.
No, it's pretty boring for the most part, really.
Yeah, I mean, you had the Malcolm Merlin reveal, which was quite a few people had said, Yeah, Malcolm's not dead, and, well, they were just proven wrong.
Yeah.
And the fact that Thea was Malcolm's daughter was probably a bigger shock.
Yeah, I think that was probably the bigger one, really. It was he's back alive. Alright. He's actually Thea's father. Ooh.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that was fine, but then the rest of the episode was pretty awful.
Yeah, I think that was the only redeeming quality of it, really.
Yeah, I mean, first of all, they never explained how the Count had gone from his insane vegetable state to sane.
Yeah, and I mean, that was a bit disappointing, really, because I think it could have used that a bit. If you kind of understood him a bit more or whatever, why he's suddenly completely fine. It would have been a nice addition, really.
Yeah, it wasn't the most interesting to watch, and you knew that Moira was going to get off because she was a regular.
Yeah.
It just seemed kind of pointless.
Yeah.
So I was very close to going for that. But, go ahead, why don't you tell me what you went for? I'm sure. Agreed.
Blind Spot takes the title for this one.
Yeah. Well, we've talked about the worst character. This is a Laurel-centric episode, and we hate Laurel.
Yeah, and just the whole way the storyline went, it just wasn't very good. Or was it she has some magic hunch about Sebastian Blood being bad? She shoots him. Well, she doesn't actually shoot him, but yeah.
That would have been quite interesting.
Well, yeah. No, it just didn't work. It's one I'm not gonna really worry too much about watching, I don't think.
No, it's not really interesting.
It's not one of the rewatchable ones, really.
No, it's not. I mean, you had Slade in the Deathstroke mask, or the suit, sorry. I can, yeah, that's fine, that was enjoyable. The rest, and the fact that it seemed like a horror movie at the start with Sebastian Blood over his mother in the mask, that was good.
Yeah.
It all looked quite good when you started watching the episode. And then it just went very, very quickly down.
Yeah, it just... Well, basically, the beginning and the Slade at the end were good. It was just the middle that was the problem.
Yeah, I mean, the fact is, we know, obviously, that Laurel's right. And on kind of some rating thingy, it wanted them to believe her. But actually, I was sitting there thinking, she's right, but I don't actually want them to believe her.
Yeah, I was the same, pretty much.
So, yeah, let's not have another one like that, because...
No, it wasn't good. It really wasn't good.
It really wasn't. So yeah, I think we've unanimously decided on Blind there. So we'll move on to our last award, and that is, of course, Best Episode. I was torn between two. It took me quite a long time to kind of pick one. So, what do you go for?
I was the same. I was torn between two, and I pretty much decided 5 minutes ago, to be honest. I think for me, Three Ghosts probably edges it. I think it had a lot to it. Even though it was setting things up, the story itself still worked. There's a lot of good moments. The ghosts thing was a nice touch. Then you had Slade pop up in the present day at the end, which was a nice twist too.
Yeah, I mean, Unthinkable was obviously, I assume, the other one.
Yeah.
Also went for Three Ghosts, which means that we have actually picked the same thing for every single one.
Yeah.
See, we communicated. See?
Yeah, that's why we're good at what we do.
Yes. But yeah, I mean, the thing about finales and mid-season finales, as much as they need to be high in quality, I think they need to have a real big and more than one massive shock.
Yeah.
You know, Unthinkable had it in Oliver going, "I love you" to Felicity.
Yeah.
And then the fact that it was a fake as well.
Yeah.
But I'll count that as one thing. You know, I mean, that has a big shock. In the finale podcast, you had predicted that Oliver wasn't going to be on the island for 5 years because he said to Diggle that he wasn't, and that he would leave the island in the finale.
Yeah.
You know, so I sort of wasn't quite so shocked then.
No, I think that wasn't. That was. I think we said at the time that final scene is sort of a cliffhanger. It didn't really feel like a cliffhanger.
No, it was more of a kind of, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Just like, yeah, okay, well, I'd like to see what happens next, not this second, because it's one of those, oh my god, I have to know what happens next episodes.
Yeah.
3 Ghosts, however, now that was shocking.
Yeah, definitely. I think especially Slade being revealed as the big bad all along, when they'd kind of already made it look like it was blood. That was a big one. Yeah,
especially if we'd seen Slade die.
Yeah.
That kind of helped.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, you had sort of... I'm almost more impressed by the way they handled Barry Allen as well, because I really wasn't expecting sort of that kind of level of what we saw. Him being struck by lightning. I really didn't think we would see that level of it. No. But I mean, everything about the episode just kind of flowed really, really well. As I said, there were shocks, and lots of them. And, you know, that, as much as it doesn't have to be kind of like big shocking deaths or whatever, and if you overuse the shocks, they can become boring. If it's just all the time shock. Oh, okay, I'm just getting bored now.
Yeah.
But they used it really well, and yeah, I thought it was the best episode of the season. Yeah,
it's sort of one of the ones I'd lean towards. You know, if I've got a top 3 of who I'm going to go rewatch back, that's top of the list, really.
Yeah, I definitely agree there. I mean, I think we talked about it at the time, that it was probably on par with Sacrifice.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a top quality episode. I was dying to rewatch it again. I think I watched it 7 or 8 times. And that was just for Christmas.
That's impressive.
Yeah, I mean, it was, I think, the best one of the season.
Yeah, I'd agree with that, definitely.
So yeah, as I said, we've agreed on every single one.
Yeah, it's not bad going.
Yeah. We were meant to have CJ on the podcast, but he was busy. It would have been interesting to see what he would have said.
Yeah.
I might get him to email me what he would have said, and we can put it in the description, and
yeah, that'd be interesting.
All of you listening can see how much he disagreed with us, and how, if he had been here, we'd have overruled him and he'd lost.
Yeah.
Pretty much. I mean, I don't know what else to really to say. I mean, it's been a fun discussion, fun season. I'm looking forward to season 3.
Yeah, can't wait. More interesting discussions to come, and more good TV.
Yeah, and that's always a good thing to look forward to.
Definitely.
the 5-month wait, however, not so much.
No, I'm not too keen on that part.
No, neither am I. Okay. Well, over the summer months, we're going to be sort of trying to refine the site. I am going to be looking to relocate and sort of improve the site because, as you guys probably know from the Twitter feed, we've been having some pretty serious problems with blog.com lately. We were actually locked out of our own site last week, which is why we couldn't bring you a review or anything for the finale. which was really, really terrible timing. You know, they couldn't have at least waited a couple of days.
Yeah, I mean, if I knew they were going to do that, I probably would have just gone on there, posted everything, and just, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, the stupid thing was that you guys out there could see the site, but we weren't actually able to access the back end of it, so we weren't actually able to do anything.
Yeah, it made no sense, really.
Yeah. So, I apologise for that. As I say, we're going to be looking for a new host, sort of refining it, making it easier for you guys to access all this content. We're going to sort of brainstorm a few ideas, try and improve the content we bring you for Season 3, and just sort of generally keep things ticking over until October, and then, well, we have Season 3 then, and then we can sort of go into the regularly scheduled content.
Yeah, and can't wait for it.
Yes, definitely. So unless you had anything else to add?
No, just bring on Season 3 as quick as we can.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I hope you've all enjoyed this podcast, and we will see you next time.